Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. Couple-minute riff on IT and IT security. Today parked, and talking about ordering in what you should look at and check if you're taking on a new role or assisting a new organization and figuring out what their security posture is. So you may want to do things like know where our vulnerabilities are, know where our threats are, know what our control is and benchmark it against the standard. You may want to do something like do a penetration test, right? And there's a number of things that need to be done, and you start to think, well, what order should I do those in? So I propose the following order for people just starting to do a look at their environment and just getting into it. One, start off by looking for signs of compromise. You guys have, I'm sure, seen PWN, right? Pwn, you've been owned, as an indicator that someone's got your network. Oftentimes when we do pen tests and we find that someone's already been breached, we call them pre-owned, right? Someone's already got to them. And the problem is now if you're doing a penetration test, you may end up inadvertently damaging evidence or causing other ramifications in a breached environment. So you start off by looking for signs of compromise. Sometimes this will be called a compromised assessment or a malicious activity assessment. Basically, you put in the equipment and you put in the technology to look to see if anyone in that environment has been breached, looking for signs of command and control and other indicators. Run that for a while, right? Because not everyone's going to be booted up, not everything's going to be dials out all the time. Sometimes malware will wait for days, those types of things. So run it for a couple of weeks and make sure that the environment is not compromised. If it is, clean it up, right? So start off by figuring out what threats exist. Number two, do a vulnerability assessment. This is a technical scan of the environment to list all the assets, figure out what known vulnerabilities are, figure out what are missing patches, right? Do a vulnerability assessment and figure out what all those things are and start remediating some of those things. So get a good grasp right away of where the weaknesses are, knowing now that you're not owned, right? And get a good grasp right away of where the bad guys might get in, knowing again that you're not already owned. 3, penetration test. Go through the environment and find out ways that using the vulnerability assessment as input, ways that these vulnerabilities could be escalated, what type of data could happen from that, manually check the results, rule out false positives, and generally figure out the impact, right? A good vulnerability assessment tool cannot tell you really the impact of a particular vulnerability because it doesn't know your environment, doesn't know the data, doesn't know the sensitivity, doesn't know what you're trying to protect. So do that penetration test. Lastly, after you've got results from a vulnerability assessment, a penetration test, after you make sure there's no one in the environment, you want to set up a holistic framework and a big picture control set that allows you to not only remediate the things you found, but also get a couple steps ahead by policies, procedures, and those things. So lastly, do a benchmark against a standard. Again, I talk all the time about critical security controls, but this could also be ISO, this could be NIST, standard of your choice. So benchmark against a standard and then figure out where your gaps are and feed in those technical vulnerabilities into that, feed in the findings of the compromise, if there was one, and come up with a roadmap on how you'll spend the next several months remediating hardening the environment. Compromise, vulnerabilities, penetration test, maturity assessment. There you go. Questions, comments, agree, disagree, hit me up in comments, or see me on Twitter. Cheers.